Hi guys, welcome back to my Flosstube channel. My name is Sarah, otherwise known as Little Snips, and this is episode 29 on March 20th, 2018. Sorry, March 21st, 2018. And I'm back from vacation, so hi, I'm back. Thank you for putting up with the fact that I've been gone for a month, basically. I meant to do a video last week when I should have, but my mom was still here, and I didn't really feel comfortable getting back into making Flosstube videos, so I didn't, and put it off for another week until I had the house to myself. This is the second time that I've made this video. I tried to edit the first one, and it corrupted, and yeah, fun stuff. So this video will probably be shorter than the last one was. I did warn in the last one that the video might be on the longer side, and it still might be on the longer side because I do tend to ramble. But hopefully I won't ramble quite as much since I've already gotten that out of my system since I did the video once. So we'll see how it goes. One big thing that I wanted to say about my Flosstube channel in general is that while I was gone, or rather right about the time that I came back, I crossed over the 1,000 subscriber mark. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming back and watching my channel, for subscribing and following along with what I'm doing. It means a lot to me, and I'm kind of impressed by the fact that I've finally hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. I am going to do a giveaway for that milestone. I'm not going to do it in this video because, like I said, this is episode 29, and I kind of feel like I want to save that for a round number video. In theory, if I was being really picky, I would wait until episode 32 because 32 has been my favorite number for quite a while, but I'm not going to make you wait that long. I'm just going to make you wait until episode 30, which is going to be my first episode in April. So 2 weeks from today, in April, I will do a bigger giveaway than I normally do. I've already recorded all of the giveaway stuff. I've already commented on people's posts, so that stuff is in a part of the video that did not get corrupted, did not get eaten, so that's all taken care of. I did also offer some more magazine giveaways at the end of this video. So yeah, I'm still going to do the smaller giveaway this time, but next time, after I have some time to think about what kind of things I want to give away, whether I want to try to make anything, you know, fill in the details in my own head, then I will go ahead and do a bigger giveaway for the 1,000 subscriber milestone. So hang in there, come back in April, and you'll see what I'm offering. What did I talk about last time that I don't need to ramble about quite as much this time? Well, I'm back from Hawaii. I was gone for a month because I went on a 10-day vacation to Hawaii with my husband and my mom and my aunt. And we had a great time. It's my second time being to the islands. My mom's first time, my aunt's second time, but she hasn't been there for decades. So we sort of took them back to the islands and showed them some of the things that we liked the first time we were there, and explored some new things. We went to an entirely new island. We went to Maui this time, and the big event that we did on Maui is that we went to Haleakala, which is one of the volcanoes, or volcanic craters on that island. It was a lot of fun. It was very cold. And I'm going to pause the video for 1 minute. Hang on. And I'm back. It was very cold, I was saying, at Haleakala, at the crater. They have an option to go at sunrise to see the sun color the sky and everything. We opted not to do that. Number one, because they have now started requiring you to have reservations in order to do that, and we didn't know that until the day we were going to go, or rather the night before we were going to go, and they really like 24 hours worth of notification. So, but they also say that it's very cold, really windy, and not always worth the trip. The road up the side of Haleakala to get to the crater is very narrow and very windy, which during daytime is, well, it wasn't terrible. It might be a little harrowing for some people, but at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, whenever you have to go, it would be a little terrifying, I think. Aside from the fact that, you know, you'd be sleepy and, yeah, there's probably a lot of cars going, and so we didn't do that. We went in the morning, and it was beautiful. It's sort of kind kind of desolate, kind of moonscapey. I mean, they make a point of telling you that the vegetation changes at the altitude that you're at Haleakala. Normally you have sort of a tropical island vegetation, you have like ferns and things like that, and up at the top of Haleakala, they say you go from Hawaii to Alaska. You start getting needle plants and you start getting hardier plants because the weather gets so cold. So that's kind of interesting. Silver sword, if you look up what silver sword is, there's lots of that, and that's pretty cool looking as you're driving up the road. And then you get to the top and you get to see these stunning, breathtaking, maybe a little scary views because the drop is pretty intense in some places. But it was definitely worth doing it. It was something that my mother really wanted to do. And I'm glad that we went and did it. I'm equally glad that we didn't do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, it was definitely worth it. I think one of the things that we failed to think about is that the last time we went to Hawaii, we went mid-September. So it was humid, but it was warm. This time, obviously, we went in March. We got quite a bit of rain. It's raining here today in Northern California and has been on and off for about a week. Probably more than that because we missed some of that while we were in Hawaii. But in Hawaii, we were not expecting the amount of rain that we got. We knew that it does rain. It's a tropical island. I mean, it does rain, but usually the rain is out of the blue. It's like a sun shower. Like, it'll rain for a little bit and then it's gone and you're done with rain. Particularly on the Big Island and the Hilo side of the Big Island, it was really rainy. It was cold and windy and really rainy. So not exactly ideal Hawaii weather for those of you who are familiar with Hawaii weather or have an idea of what Hawaii weather is. But it was not terrible. It was definitely tolerable and better for my mom and my aunt, who are from Ohio and Virginia, respectively. They kept looking at the reports of snow and being really glad that they weren't there. We all had a great time. There was a little bit of drama, but whenever you stick 4 adults in close proximity for 10 days, there's probably going to be a little bit of that. But we got over it and had a good time, so it was definitely a good trip. Hawaii has become sort of a vacation spot that my husband and I are thinking about making a regular vacation spot. We really enjoy it. We really like the atmosphere. We like the people. We like the experiences that we've had there. My mother and my aunt, unfortunately, are not sure that they would be able to make another trip to the islands, but they were thrilled that they got to do it this time. And yeah, maybe someday in the future when my husband has decided to retire or possibly start his own business, maybe we'll move to Hawaii or have a vacation place on Hawaii so we can go more often. We first went in 2016. I am hoping that we can go before 2020 because I'd really like to go back and explore a little bit more. What else did we do? Hang on, gotta answer the door. Oh, interruptions. That was actually, I think I mentioned later in the video because, like I said, I recorded this backwards, so you're going to see the different lighting. The last part of this video was recorded earlier in the day because I have to redo the first part. But I had mentioned that I hadn't gotten a notice for the 3rd installment of my XJU Designs Fabric Club, and that was what just showed up. So I'm not going to show it to you in this video. I'll save that for the next one because I already showed you all of my haul and stuff and I don't want to try to figure that out. But yeah, that's what the doorbell was. Mailman. Gotta love the doorbell when it's something good like that. Anyway, I was talking about other things that we did. We went to Kilauea, which is on the Big Island. And yeah, that was interesting in a different way in that Haleakala is it's an inactive volcano. And so you can see the crater and everything, but you can't actually see any lava, as opposed to Kilauea, which is active still and is still throwing lava. So it's definitely an interesting, different experience. I have a video that I will attach at the end, my husband and I went back at night when it was dark, and I'm not going to show you the picture because my picture is terrible. It was taken on my phone. It's very grainy, and you can't really see what I was trying to point out, but my husband has some great shots that maybe I will get and show you in the next video of Kilauea at night, where she's lit up the entire sky, and the steam coming out of the actual caldera, I felt like I could see a figure, like a face in there. It sounds kind of creepy, sounds kind of weird to say that I thought I could see a little bit of Pele, but you definitely know that she's present in that volcano. You definitely get to see, you know, you can't get close to it because that would be dangerous, but you can zoom in pretty close with cameras and phones and things like that, and yeah, it's kind of amazing to see it, like a real active volcano. But we did Kilauea. We went snorkeling for a day, which was fun. Got to see some amazing fish. Last time we were there, I did not have my own mask, and so I had to borrow my husband's, which meant that I missed out on some things. I missed out on seeing some sea turtles. I missed out on seeing some cool fish and things. This time I had my own mask, so we went snorkeling for a day together and saw some cool things. We did not actually get to see any turtles, unfortunately. Not in the water. Or not when we were in the water. But we saw a lot of really cool tropical fish, lots of yellow tangs. I saw one really big, like turquoise rainbow-y fish that I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it was big. We saw sea urchins, we saw starfish, we found an octopus. So it was cool. We had a lot of fun on that day. What else do we do? Oh, we found a black sand beach, and there are pictures of that too. I don't have any video of that, unfortunately, but I do have pictures that I will probably insert next time because, again, my husband's pictures are better than mine. But at the black sand beach, it is known for being a turtle beach, so we got to see lots of sea turtles sort of flashing their bellies and sticking their head out of the water. We didn't see anybody out on the sand. But I think that's because they knew that there were people, obviously, and they were sort of putting on a little show for us. So that was pretty cool. Last time we didn't get to see a black sand beach. Now I can say that I've actually been on one, that I've actually held black sand. It does not feel like sand. I mean, it does, but it feels different. It's more uniform, little, not smoother. The granules are more uniform, though, so they roll together differently. It's something you kind of have to experience, unfortunately. But yeah, it was pretty cool. What else did we do? We went to, surprisingly, we went to a nursery that had bonsai plants. Now, my husband drove that decision, and he decided pretty early on into the trip that he was interested in looking at and potentially getting some bonsai plants. My husband does not do hobbies, really. He is a gamer. He has been a gamer all his life. He plays video games, he plays board games, and then he has a motorcycle that he rides sometimes. But other than that, he doesn't really have hobbies. So he kind of surprised me with this whole bonsai thing, that he's decided he wanted to try bonsai. But we went to this nursery, and it is the Fuku Bonsai Nursery, I think is the name of it. It was beautiful. I mean, saw some amazing bonsai. I have some pictures that I might insert, but I've already put on my Instagram account, so if you want to check that feed, you can do so. And we ended up getting a couple of bonsai plants, which are now here in the house with me, us. I will hopefully not kill them. I am the person who can kill cactus. So I am a little nervous about the bonsai, though the guy at the nursery and all of their documentation talks about how easy it is to take care of bonsai as long as you follow these, you know, simple set of rules. So we'll see how it goes. So far, so good. They've been with us for about a week. So, you know, my cat is bothering me. So if you hear her meow or you happen to see her jump in my lap, that's what's going on. But so we brought some bonsai back. And you know, the usual stuff. We brought macadamia nut stuff back because you can't not do that when you go to Hawaii. And yeah, we had a great time. I'm definitely going to go again at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. I already said that. I already covered that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And if you have the opportunity to go, I think you should. I think it's something that everybody should see once, at least. I remember I did say this in the last time I made the video and corrupted. If you get a chance to go to Hawaii, I would highly recommend going to the Bishop Museum in Honolulu. We went by chance. We didn't plan to go. We were waiting for our Airbnb to be open so we could check in. And so we went to kill some time. I sort of regret the killing time concept because I could easily have spent an entire day at the museum, I think. There is a lot to see there. There's a lot to see. There are some really cool exhibits, at least there were when we were there. They rotate exhibits as far as I know, so who knows what'll be there soon. But, and we only saw 2 buildings, and I know that I missed out on things that I would really have liked to have seen. So if you are in Honolulu, plan to spend a day at the Bishop Museum. It does cost money to get in, but it's definitely worth it. My mother, who is a sociologist, and my aunt, who is an anthropologist, spent time in the main hall that we were in, and my mom kept talking about how much she kept trying to think of what it would be like to grow up as a kid, learning all of this stuff that she was taking in while she was reading the displays and the cards and the displays and things, and how in-depth it was and how fascinating it was. It was really cool. And again, like I said, I'm kind of sad that we only spent a few hours and not an entire day at the museum, because I think there's a lot more that we could have seen and really enjoyed. But definitely do that if you get a chance to go to Honolulu. It will be well worth your time, I think. That said, I'm not going to ramble on too much more because I want to go back and show you the stuff that I worked on or have worked on since the last time we talked. I show you my haul later in the video, so I'm not going to worry about that now because that video is fine. I don't need to re-record it. I do have to show you the stuff that I worked on ahead of time, though. So one of the things that I worked on, and this is what I'm currently working on, this is in my 5-day rotation right now, is the Crescent Moon Dragon by Joan Elliott. I am doing this for my husband, who is the big dragon fan in the house. He wanted this on a stormy gray night sky kind of fabric, so I dyed some Monaco for him. Stop jumping on me, cat. And this is where I am right now. Not a lot of progress. This is the back of the dragon, the back ridge. Obviously this is a wing, and I am working on building the wing out right now. So adding color to build that out. Yeah, I will insert a picture of what this will look like and what it did look like here. And then show you this again so you can see how far I have to go, because this is all that I have done. But I'm currently on day 3 of a 5-day rotation on this, and then I will move on to something else. So, yeah. Crescent Moon Dragon. This is 28 count Monaco, and that I hand-dyed myself. Not going to show you that one because I already showed you. I worked on my Priestess of Quetzalcoatl, which is a Hade, which is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I will insert a picture of what that will look like here. And I will remind you that the last time I talked about this, I said it looked like, my progress looked like I had sneezed with a mouthful of food, that it looked like food spatter on the fabric. Not a pretty comparison image, but it's really kind of what it looked like. I have now gotten to the point where you can actually see some pattern elements, so it looks less like I sneezed. This is where I am now. So what I did in my rotation on this piece is I filled in a bunch of yellow in here, which still basically looks like confetti. But then I started working on the black, and so you can see, I hope you can see here this arc. This is part of a circle that goes around, and it's part of, in the design as a whole that I just showed you, it's part of the sundial circular figure behind the woman and her serpent. But yeah, so you can start to see that the pieces are coming together. You can see that there's actually a picture in there, and it looks less pre-chewed. So yeah, this is my progress on Priestess of Quetzalcoatl. This, like all of my Hades, is done on 25 count Lugana. And I have switched away, as I said in an earlier video, I have switched away from doing tent stitch. I am now doing 1/1 full cross. So it takes a little bit longer, but I don't have to worry about the fabric warping. And I did want to talk about a little bit about Haid, because if you recall, I started out this year, and started actually in December of last year, working on the 100 Days of Haid project that Portia Parker started in her Fit and Stitch group. And that was the concept that you would take a Haid project and you would work on it a little bit every day, not necessarily for large chunks of time, but a little bit every day for 100 days, just to see how much progress you could get done, how much you could do with a few minutes even. And it was to counter the concept of not being able to stitch a Haid because you don't have a dedicated block of time to devote to stitching it. That you don't need that. You can make progress even if you only have a little bit of time to stitch every day. I did not finish that, partially because of the injury to my hand and arm, partially because halfway through that challenge, or about halfway through, I realized that the project I was working on, the Shakespearean fantasy, was not detailed enough for me, so I stopped working on it. Several other people did not make the 100-day cutoff, though several people did, so you should definitely go and check Portia's group and see the progress that they made, because some of it is pretty impressive. But Portia has issued another challenge now, and it's a smaller challenge. This time it's a 30-day challenge. The concept is the same. Stitch a little bit on a project every time you're stitching, every day, and see how much progress you can get done in 30 days. So I am bending over, sorry. I am jumping in on that one again, and I am going to use my Full Coverage Fanatics by the Numbers piece, which is Cosmica by Jenna Della Grottaglio, and I don't know whether Maldonado is still a part of her name, but the pattern name is Cosmica. I will show you what that will look like when it's finished here. And I'll show you where I am, which is here. This is the first page, so this is the right-hand corner of the first page, and I have now reached the bottom corner of the first page. As you can see, when I show you up close, it is almost entirely black. It is anchor black. There's a little bit of navy blue that goes into this page, but for the most part, like a lot of my patterns, the corner, the left-hand upper corner, and some of the border, like all the way across the top and down the sides, is black. Not exciting. It's not really thrilling to stitch. It's not thrilling to look at. I mean, that's just a giant chunk of black stuff. But in the second page, over on the right-hand side, you start to get more color in here, so I might get there by the end of the 30-day challenge. I might not. It just depends. But I'm pretty pleased with the fact that I've gotten this much done. This is about 500 more stitches than it was the last time you saw it. So, yeah, that is Cosmica. And again, this is 25 count. Did I say 28 count on my Priestess? I think I did, and I didn't mean that. I meant 25 count. 25 count Lugana, undyed, and doing this again, 1/1 full cross, as opposed to tent stitch, which I started with. So that is that. What else did I work on? This is, I don't even know why I'm showing you this, because it's got so little progress and it doesn't really matter, but I worked on it, so why not? This is my Ravenkin. This is by Selena Fenech, however you say her name. It is a mini, and again, it's all black. This is about 300 plus 20 stitches on the top left corner, which is where I always start. This is, again, 25 count Lugana. It's 1/1 full cross. And I'm not going to insert a picture of what this looks like because I did so recently. So if you're really curious, you can go and look it up. I did this sort of to just... I felt like doing something different than what I was already stitching. And this is going to have very slow progress. Eventually it'll be finished. Like I said, it's a mini, so it's not a terribly large piece of fabric. Much smaller than the normal size, or full size rather. But yeah, so I worked on that as well. And then, excuse my bending over again, the piece that I took to Hawaii with me to stitch on, and didn't actually stitch on, because by the time I pulled it out, I realized I had lost the needle. and I couldn't stitch on it. I did buy a needle at the end of the trip, and I did put in about 10 stitches, but my hand had been worn out by that point, and I couldn't really stitch. So it didn't get touched while I was in Hawaii, even though I intended to do so. But I did make progress on it since last time you've seen it. This is the Bands of Variation Stitch Along by Doreen Jones, hosted by Lakeside Needlecraft. And I have been working on the February block. I am obviously behind. February should have been completed by now, and March, it's almost the end of March, and I still haven't even started. But I did get some of the blue put in this green and blue block. I think it's really pretty. I really like this block in particular. I like the way the colors blend together. I said, I think in the last video, that I thought that March would be a blue and purple block if we're following the pattern of how she's blended her colors. And it is blue and purple, but she's also added in some of the red up here into the March block. So I'm no longer confident in guessing what the blocks are going to look like. I don't know what the color combinations are going to be. I thought I had it figured out, and I was a little bit wrong. So who knows what will happen in the last half of the year, because March is block 6. I really love it. I think it's turned out very nicely. I even like the yellow and orange, even though you can't really see the yellow very much. I even like that block. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this progresses as the year goes on, and to see what we end up with. She has started a new stitch along. There is a new, or rather the pre-sale for her new stitch along has happened. She is doing, or hosting, designing, releasing, whatever you want to call it, the Cats and Dogs Throughout Time stitch along on the Lakeside Needlecraft group. I'm sorry, my face is itchy. She is going to release another specialty stitch along. This one is paid as opposed to the one that was free last year. What else have I heard about? There is a, and I didn't print anything out, so maybe I'll have to show you next episode. But Brooks Books has released in pre-sale, and I don't know whether it's still on sale. I don't know whether the deal is still there, so you'll have to go and check her Etsy shop. But she is doing a Little Mermaid stitch along, and she has released, as part of the pre-sale, she has released the second pattern, which is Ariel herself, the Little Mermaid herself. And she's adorable, of course, it's Brooks Books. Her patterns are usually very cute. And then there are going to be 11 other characters that show up in this stitch along, all from the Hans Christian Andersen version of the Little Mermaid. So Triton is there, and the Sea Witch and the sisters and everything are going to be included in this stitch along. The Little Mermaid is the first fairy tale that I remember hearing as a kid, and particularly the Hans Christian Andersen version, so I jumped on that as quickly as I could. Again, I didn't print anything out because I didn't think about it, so in the next episode maybe I'll show you that. But definitely go to her website and check it out if you are interested in The Little Mermaid, or if you like Brooks Patterns. And what else? Did I hear anything else? I don't think I heard anything else. So, I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this portion of the video. Like I said, I recorded this earlier, and so you're going to see a shift in what the lighting is like, probably my tone of voice because it was earlier in the morning. But you will see the rest of what I worked on. You will see my haul. You will see the giveaway. Again, I am going to do a giveaway for my 1,000 follower mark. I will do that in the next episode, episode 30 in April. So come back and check that out. And for now, just enjoy the rest of the video. Bye. Back again. Right, so the next thing that I worked on is my Modern Folk Embroidery stitch along. Again, something that I should have finished by the end of January and still haven't finished, so I'm going to be playing catch up on this one, but that's okay, because I'm still stitching, and that's the point, right? So this is where I am right now. I have reached the, I think I told you before, I had reached the right-hand corner earlier. So this is the right-hand corner of January. I have now reached the bottom corner of January, or the bottom left-hand corner of January. So I'm still working on the diagonal, obviously, and I feel kind of silly working on the diagonal on this because I could just be going motif by motif, and in working on the diagonal, like with the bird, you see I'm stitching like part of a motif. His tail's not done. I haven't finished the reindeer here. These are his antlers, but I haven't actually finished the reindeer. So I could be working motif by motif, but I'm being stubborn and working on the diagonal anyway. But I have gotten more completed. I don't feel like sticking a picture in of where I was, so you'll just have to take my word for it that I have done more. I finished this motif. I finished the antlers, or part of the antlers anyway. Again, the bird was not really there. So yeah, I've made progress. I'm still making progress. Again, working on this. This is 16 count Aida that is undyed, obviously, and I'm using Royal Navy Blue sulky blendable thread. So the 30 weight sulky that we talked about. It's slightly variegated, not really variegated. There is a little bit of color shift in here, but mostly it's blue, and that's fine. Yeah, and I'm having fun. I really do like this pattern. I just wish I was up to date on it, but it's all right. I am not up to date on the medieval menagerie, the linen and thread stitch along for this year either. I have not done any more on that since the last time you've seen it, so I'm not going to show it to you. Okay, this is giving me trouble about making the video, so I'm going to have to go fast. So I got my second shipment of XJU design stuff. She sent more floss that she dyed herself. So really pretty colors. This is Sour Cherry. This is Cafe Latte. This is Chestnut Bark. This is my favorite of the group this time, I think. This is Alpine View. Really nice, variegated. Actually, I lied. This is my favorite one. And this is My Little Bluebird. So I love those threads. This is the actual fabric. It is called Forget Me Not. Again, I am in the 18 count Aida Bright Club. So it's this pretty Forget Me Not blue with modeling on it. Let me fold it up. Yeah, this is a better representation of the color. It is actually blue. It's not really pale blue. It is actually blue, and it's probably actually a little brighter than that. But, you know, we have trouble with color, so there you go. I also have a couple color and cotton things to show you. This is my, I believe this is January's fabric Cosmic Candy. This is a 32 count Lugana. It is blue and pink. And you are probably not really going to be able to see that because the color is going to wash out. There's blue in there. It's a pale blue. It does look like cotton candy. It's really pretty. Really like it. I'm not much of a pink or lavendery pink kind of person, but it's really pretty. And then February's fabric, I believe this is February's, is a 28 count Lugana, and this is called Cerulean. And that shows up much better. It's not nearly as pastel color. It's a really pretty, well, cerulean blue. And it's not sparkly. It does have sort of like a denim texture look to it. But it's really pretty. Hopefully that didn't spoil the fabric club for anybody. I got it while I was gone, so I assume that people got it before me. But if I spoiled that for you, I truly apologize. While I was in Hawaii, I actually did get some Hawaiian patterns. I went to a shop called Fiddlesticks 2 in Honolulu, and I specifically went because I went because I wanted to see if there were any Hawaiian patterns. Anything to mark the fact that I bought them in Hawaii and make them unique, as opposed to the things that I could buy on 123 Stitch or something like that. We also went because we were killing time before we had to get on a plane. But, yeah, I did find things, and I'm very happy with the things I found. The first one is this Mere Kalikimaka pattern. This is a nene. So you have, and my hair has decided to stand straight up off my head. Sorry about that. This is a nene. If you are not familiar with nene, they are Canadian geese that accidentally migrated to the Hawaiian Islands way back in the day, you know, thousands of years ago, and they have slightly mutated. Their necks are shorter, and they don't fly as much as their Canadian goose cousins. They do not migrate. They don't leave the islands. They stay on the Hawaiian chain. And there aren't very many of them. There are only a couple islands where you can find them. But they are one of my favorite birds. They are the Hawaiian state bird. And yeah, we were fortunate enough to see several of them while we were on vacation. And I just love them. So this is a Christmas nene that says Mele Kalikimaka. And my aunt has already requested a version of this. She wants me to stitch this up for her, but I may stitch this several times because I think it's really cute. I also got a series of carousel horses that are based on colors to represent the Hawaiian Islands. So this will be interesting. We do love carousel horses in this house. There is, let me see if I can get it closer so you can see the little horses. I don't know if that you can see them real well, but, and I can't show you more than that because everything else is actual pattern. Basically, there's 4 different horses, and you stitch them in 2 different colorways. You can stitch them in different directions to represent the island chain, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then while I was there, and because market had just happened, and I did not get to buy any market things, or I obviously didn't get to go to market, have not been watching what all the shops are picking up and offering. I happened to see that she had been to market, and she got the Holiday Quaker from Lila Studio, and I know that that's not so shiny. That is the Holiday Quaker. That is the new one. Lila Studio, I know a lot of you have done the Halloween Quaker, and I really want to do that one too. But this is the Christmas one that just came out at market, and I'm really thrilled that I found it. So yeah. The other thing that I got while I was gone was I made an order with Stony Creek before I left. Primarily to get the next freebie pattern of the month, which is the Joy Cardinal. As you can see, or see better on the back, there's only 3 in this particular banner. So February, March, and April. I have not ordered the March pattern yet, but I will. They're finches. But yeah, the February is the Cardinal. I did get the buttons that go with it too, the little snowflake buttons that are on here. And then because I was looking at other people's videos, I don't remember who mentioned these, who found these, or mentioned that they existed, but I did go and look on Stony Creek and found some fantasy and mythical pattern books. These are older books, but you know, unicorn, dragon, wizard. This is a triptych on the back. So these are to be stitched, or designed to be stitched and hung side by side. So the castle goes in the center, and then the maiden and the knight are supposed to go on either side of them. And then mythical moments, more dragons, more unicorns, more castles, some swans and pretty things. And then a Dragons and Wizards book as well. Dragons and Wizards. Dragons and Wizards. And a castle. And so, yeah. I ordered those from Stony Creek, and they came in while I was gone. What else did I get? That's it. That's what I bought. That is my haul. I probably have other things that I have overlooked. I know that, I did order the Christmas hardback book, pardon me, from Hirschner's that a lot of people have been talking about, and I did get that. You have seen it before. I don't know where mine is at the moment, so I'm not going to try to find it and show it to you again, but it is pretty cool. There are patterns in there that I will definitely stitch, and thank you to everyone who mentioned it and mentioned that it was still available, or I would have missed it. So right, let me do my giveaways real quick because I'm running out of time. Like I said, my phone is currently full of pictures and things that are taking up space. So, my last giveaway, I had 3 things that I was offering up. As with my puppies that I offered before, the Margaret Sherry puppies that nobody claimed, I offered you guys the opportunity to claim the bunny, this bunny, if you wanted him, and nobody took it. So, sorry, I just dropped things on the floor, so I'm going to bend over. So the bunny will go back into the pot. I may put him on something like Stash Unload or Adopt a Whip or something like that because he wasn't claimed here. Or I may just hang on to him and offer him again later. But I did offer this one. This is To the Manor Born, the slightly prim-esque pattern. and I had 8 people who wanted that one. I went to random.org and put the number in and let random.org choose who was going to win, and random.org chose Deborah Brown. So Deborah, congratulations. To the Manor Born is yours. I will put a comment on your comment and let you know that you won. If you will email me your mailing address, I will get that in the mail to you. The other one I offered was this beach cottage pattern called Seaside Living. Just a row of beach cottages. I had 5 people who were interested in the beach cottages. Random.org chose Sherry Loves Stitching. So Sherry, again, I will put a comment on your comment. If you will send me your mailing address, I will get this in the mail to you. Remember that these are going to come to you folded up, so they will be tri-folded, they will be put in an envelope, and they will be sent as first-class mail. If you don't like that, I apologize. I did tell you when I set up the giveaway, so... and that is how I'm going to do my giveaway this week. I do have 3 patterns to give away this week. Woo, gotta speed through them. Because it is supposedly spring, and spring is being shy about showing itself, I thought I would throw some birds and flowers in here to try to make things a little brighter, a little warmer, a little more springy, or a little more tropical, as is the case with the toucan. So this is a toucan pattern, and it is from is it from New Stitches? Yes, it is from New Stitches. It is a Mary Hickmott design, but I thought he was pretty cute, and he's a bird, and spring means birds, right? So, if you are interested in stitching the toucan, please say, I would like to stitch the toucan, and I will put you in the drawing for him. Again, I am going to fold these. I'm going to tri-fold them, I will put them in an envelope, and I will send them with a stamp. So if you are not cool with patterns being ripped out of magazines, or you're not cool with your pattern being folded up, or you're not cool with it not being sent in a padded envelope or whatever, please don't enter. If you are cool with those things, feel free. You can enter for everything I'm offering you, or just one. And please be 18 or older, so it's okay for you to give me your address. I would love it if you're a subscriber, because these are things that I would like to give to my subscribers. And yeah, I don't care if you're in the States or out of the States, I will send it to you wherever you are. I'm going to bend over again. The next one that I'm going to give away is another bird. This one comes out of the Cross Stitcher magazine, and it is the July 2010 issue, and it is Little Bird. It's just this cute little bird, little gingham bird. If you are interested in stitching this, please say, I would like to stitch the gingham bird, or the little bird. Toucan for the first one, little bird, gingham bird for this one, just so I can tell the difference between the two of them. And last but not least, sort of springy, not a bird, not flowers really, but these are filigree arches. So this is black work, but it's black work done in color, done in various colors. Obviously you can do these in your own choice of colors, but they're kind of springy in their own way. So there's 4 of them. This is from New Stitches as well. This is, do I have the, it's the issue 193. I'm not exactly sure what year that was, but Mary Hickmott, black work, filigree arches. If you would like to stitch these, please say, I would like to stitch the arches. And I will put you in the drawing. You will have until my next episode to enter for those. My next episode, again, will be the 1st of April. My next episode will be episode 30, and it will be a bigger giveaway because I'm going to celebrate the fact that I have 1,000 subscribers now. Yay! Thank you guys again so much. Since I'm running out of time, that's all I'm going to do. Sorry for speeding up at the end here, but my phone is being really cranky about how much space it has. So I want to get the video out to you. Thank you for coming and watching me. Thanks for being patient with me being gone for vacation. If you like what I'm saying, you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to follow what I say in the future, please subscribe. And that's about it. Love you guys. Thank you for coming back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending your time with me. And I will see you again in April. Bye. There we go. More volcano.
They say it'll start lighting up the actual clouds.
Past people's shoulders.
Did you see the little fires?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little blurry, but it's a volcano.
So much brighter with the...
Here at the Biedo-in Temple in Honolulu, or outside Honolulu rather. We all need some alone time right now, I think. But I thought this was a pretty little waterfall. I'll turn around and show you the temple. Well, I was going to show you a better shot, but people interrupted me, so here's part of the temple anyway. It is pretty cool.